There's not a morning that I open up my eyes and find I didn't dream of you.
Well, hey, and thank you, all of you that have checked out the blog so far. I'm pretty excited about it. I really feel much more at peace on the blog and when I write. I've been writing for a long time, and on these subjects actually for a long time. When I talk about something on YouTube, it's because I've written a lot about it. I just never make any of the writing public. I have little, actually I might, here's one now. I have little things like this that I write all my junk in. And I have like tons of these just sort of sitting around everywhere. Now between two countries, I've been doing this since high school, maybe even a little bit before high school. Not that anything that old would be interesting, but it's been part of my life for a long time. So the blog, it was just sort of a natural decision to make, and will act as the foundation of what I say here, much more in the past, and which is good, because if people want to know more about what I have to say, they can go check out the blog for a deeper explanation of what I believe, and some more compelling arguments, because ultimately I think if you've hung around for a little bit, you know that I don't like YouTube. One of the reasons I don't like YouTube is because it is a video medium. Now, it's very easy to watch a YouTube video, but it is very difficult to be convinced by a YouTube video of a position that you know that you do not initially hold or have some respect for or inclinations towards. The reason for that, I think, is because I'm the one doing all the animating here. I'm jumping up and down and acting like a monkey, putting down the logic of whatever point that I make for you. And you can very easily watch what I have to say passively and then just dismiss it at the end, or misinterpret what I'm saying, or whatever. If you read my writing, and indeed if you read anyone's writing, you become the animating force of the argument. And that is much more genuine. That's much more, it shows a fair amount of integrity, or it takes an amount of integrity for you to say, okay, I know I don't agree with you at face value, but I will read your work and give you the light of day. Because if you do that in writing, it will ultimately be your own effort that animates my argument. And if you give effort to animate an argument that you do not agree with, that's very cool. It's very cool. It shows integrity, a great amount of integrity. But that's not done here on YouTube, so whatever. That's what the blog's for. I also hope that the few of you that have checked back for seconds and thirds are the ones that have asked for a more detailed analysis of my theological views. I'm very disappointed with the debate here on YouTube. It's crap. And I have nothing but respect for the participants, but the arguments are crap. And the reason for that, I think, largely is because the atheist-theist battle is not precisely an atheist-theist debate. It is a Christian anti-Christian debate, because all the atheist arguments, or vast majority of the atheist arguments I hear, are arguments against the biblical account of divinity. Likewise, accounts for divinity tend to be Christian in character, or have a very strong element of Christian presupposition, or they're arguments that would very easily segue into a discussion about Christianity. And I find that far too limiting. If you want to talk about God, then let's talk about God. Don't bring the Bible into it until that becomes reasonable at the end of the discussion. But like I said, I really have nothing but respect for the people that weigh in on that. I think more properly, though, what you see here on YouTube is not a atheist-theist debate. It is merely the debate about Christianity, and that's it, for the most part, like I said. To that, I want to talk a little bit in the few minutes that I have left about a thing on my blog that I know will spark controversy. And so that's what I want to do. I want to talk about God and his being just. A lot of what is said from the atheists here on YouTube implies the problem of evil, which is, simply put, a question as to why an all-loving God would allow for suffering and evil and things like child rape and you know, holocausts and those kinds of things, while he is omnipotent and could change all of that within a blink of the eye, or less than a blink of the eye. To that, then, I say this. I say that I have to ask you, is God just? And no, God is not just, is the answer. The reason that is the answer is because justice is something that arises from a human condition. Justice arises most appropriately from the human condition of the individual and the individual's relationship with his government. But even if I was to say, is God moral, that is most properly understood as the relationship between man and another man. And I'm not... Never mind. Affairs. No, that's even better. Affairs between one man and another man. Right, okay, whatever. You get what I'm saying. To that, then, it becomes inappropriate to superimpose the concept of justice or morality or any such thing on God. God can act in a way that if he was human, we could say, oh, look, that's just. Or we could say, oh, look, that's unjust. But he is not just. That is to put upon him a criterion that is not congruent with the criterion of omnipotence, which allows for anything to happen. Okay. And being that he is omnipotent and allows for suffering, cannot it is the problem of evil. It is a problem, and so the arguments against the problem of evil, of course, are never okay. God must not be just. God must not be loving. He must be of a different kind, because the people receiving those critiques are oftentimes Christian, and they wish to salvage their own beliefs, or defend their own beliefs. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Defend their own beliefs. I, on the other hand, am not Christian, so I just say God is not just. God is not loving. God is the basis of all things, and that's it. Life itself, on closer analysis, is really just a lot of suffering taking place. And that is to say, life itself is perpetuated through energy that is moved through bodies. It's not all about peace. Life is about conquering and overpowering things and dominating and being subdued, or consuming and being consumed, and all these sorts of things. And if that was not to happen, everything would be absolutely still, and it would just fade out of existence. To that, then, to really ask why the child was raped, or why the Holocaust happened, or why God, more precisely, why does God allow for that sort of thing, is to ask at the same time the question, why did God make the universe in the first place? Because the nature of the universe is a thing of suffering. This sounds very Buddhist, I know, and it is. But it's, I think it's really the truth. The physical world operates by things crashing into one another. I mean, even by your living, you must destroy life in many forms, in order for your body to perpetuate itself, until finally your body will give in to life forms of another kind. It's the whole Simba thing, you know, the circle of life. So to that, to ask why suffering exists is to ask, why does the universe exist? And to that, I'm absolutely ignorant. I have no idea. I have no idea, and I hold no delusions to that. So, rate, comment, and check out the blog, and take care, you guys, and we'll see you later.